Here we have the current stock market update for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. Before we begin with today's chart analysis, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comment section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we are. It's earnings day today. We are at a very critical inflection point, I believe, for this stock. I think it's sort of a make or break moment. If we drill into the price chart here, what we're looking at right now is the 30-minute price chart. And as we can see here, we really haven't seen any positive closes above the prior resistance zone. We're really seeing a lot of stalling activity right here. And this is a bit concerning here, given the fact that we do have earnings that will be released, and the share price itself has seen significant rallies recently. So all you have to do is think of that common saying: the bigger they are, the harder they fall. Well, the same is true if a stock is rallying sharply. The higher the share price, the more downside potential risk there is that exists. So, the way that things are setting up here, I'm not very optimistic for what is likely to occur. We will need to look at some specific price zones on this chart to identify whether or not trend reversal situations are actually happening. But what we do need to keep in mind here is the fact that the market has not been rewarding strong earnings reports recently. I know I'm running a risk here of getting very stupid comments if I say this. People are going to start to say that I'm comparing NVIDIA and GameStop, which I'm not. But if you look back to the prior videos that I released on NVIDIA, for example, that's a company that was sold off massively after producing extremely strong earnings. This was an earnings report that any company would have been ecstatic, more than enthusiastic producing. It would have been a dream come true for GameStop to release an earnings report that would be similar to what was seen with NVIDIA. And what happened to the stock? It was sold off massively. Look at the Broadcom video that I released. I understand Broadcom sounds like a very boring stock. Nobody really wants to look at it. But that company had a very strong earnings report. What happened? Major price gaps lower. So what I'm asking here is, what happens to GameStop if we don't see a strong earnings report? And even if we do see a strong earnings report, what happens to this stock? Is this stock at risk of failure here? There are several reasons to be concerned. I'll go over a couple of positive points here first, just so that I don't scare people, because that's not what I'm trying to do. Everybody thinks I have a short position. I would have no problem telling you that I have a short position if I did have a short position. I do not have any position in this stock. But currently, the positive points that I've discussed this previously would be that share prices did manage to bounce in the right area, in my opinion. We did see this prior move from 1988 to 2469. That would be this price move in here. And then share prices did bounce right off of this 2166 level, which comes in right in contact with the 61.8% Fibonacci retracement. That's the most important Fibonacci retracement. It's what the entire Fibonacci sequence is based on. If there are any math majors here, it's the most important Fibonacci number. And we did see a sharp bounce from here. And not only did we see a sharp bounce, but we did see share prices break above the prior highs at 2469. What is worrisome, however, is, as you can see here, there are no closing prices above that level. And this is the 30-minute price chart. I mean, if we were to pull out here onto the hourly or the daily or the weekly or something like that, the situation looks even worse. So this is a short-term time frame. In addition to that, what you have here is this W-shaped pattern. And there was a really stupid comment in the last video. Some guy said, yeah, it's W for the win. No, that's not how these work. This is really starting to turn into a harmonic price pattern. And I'm not going to get into what a harmonic price pattern is in this video. I could be here for 3 hours explaining what a harmonic pattern is. I wrote a textbook on harmonic patterns. These are extensive, advanced price patterns. It's a very bearish price pattern, and the bullish price pattern would be the mirror opposite of this. So the bearish price pattern is the W shape, and then the bearish price pattern would be an M shape. This has to unfold in a certain sequence, however. You can't just, it's not simply just a W shape. Certain Fibonacci requirements for these price movements would need to be seen in order for this to play out. But the reason that I'm bringing this up is because we are heading right into an earnings figure after a prior rally, and there is a lot that is shaping up here, which would suggest that a reversal to the downside is imminent. I really don't see any reason to believe that the earnings report from GameStop will be positive. I'm not saying that it won't be positive, but I'm just saying that I don't see any evidence to suggest that it would be positive. There was nothing amazing in the prior report. There hasn't been any new major developments recently, which would suggest that we're going to see blowout earnings here from GameStop. The stories overall have been kind of boring, in my opinion. Well, we're going to be looking at retro gaming in the stores. Who cares? You can buy retro gaming consoles anywhere. That's not amazing. And then there was the story about ending the credit facility with Wells Fargo for $250 million. But that was already priced into the market. Nobody was expecting GameStop to be borrowing $250 million from Wells Fargo. So, on the positive side, I'll try to keep things as balanced as I can here. On the positive side, what we are seeing in the indicator reading is the development of some positive momentum here. That shouldn't be entirely surprising. We are seeing this trend wave and this bounce off of 2166, which I am saying was a significant price bounce, and that is the key level now to watch to the downside. If we see prices break below there, I think you're looking at new lows below 1988. If we do see breaks higher, that could be a different story, but you're going to have to see a very strong earnings number here. And the real question that exists right now is whether or not this uptrend in share price momentum will be able to remain intact. Will we see a gapping movement lower, or even just a decline that's strong enough to break this most recent uptrend in the relative strength index? You are starting to see a bit of a lower high here, which is a bearish divergence condition because we did break to new highs above 2469. But as you can see here, the indicator reading is not confirming those highs. We're seeing lower highs on the indicator reading. You're seeing higher highs in share prices and then lower highs in the indicator reading. So if you combine that with the fact that there is a potential harmonic pattern that is forming here, you're heading right into an earnings report during an earnings season where strong earnings reports are still being punished by the market, and not just punished a little bit, they're being punished severely. Okay, so we're talking about GameStop here, and I'm not sure how much faith people really have in the earnings expectation here, but what we have here is a setup for a major decline. And I don't think that anybody else on this platform is saying this. It's just all of it is just hype and optimism, and we're going to the moon and blah blah blah. Click my video before tomorrow because something is going to happen tomorrow. Nothing ever happens. So this is a major day, and I do think that this will be an inflection point for the stock one way or another. If we do see some upside surprises here and we do see some upward movement, I do think that you could get a bit of a drift higher. However, I think that the risk to the downside is much, much more substantial at this point. So here's the current market outlook for GameStop Corporation, stock ticker GME. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market. Lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership and start trading stocks with the pros.